Hello, and welcome to Lunar Magic Tea Time, where we discuss all things magical, mystical, metaphysical, and sometimes even a little mundane. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2020, which makes it Tarot Thursday. I'm Kristen, and we're doing something different a little bit. My birthday is coming up, and as such, I like to sit with my birth card and have a moment of reflection with it, and then I like to determine my year card. So I'm going to really quickly tell you how I do that, and then I'm going to get into the meat of this episode. We'll get there. So, this imaginary birthday, 10/17/1982. You see, I've written out every one of those digits, and we add them together. I like to do it individually. I like to break it down into its individual numerical components. Other people will just add the month to the day to the year. But I like to break down those numbers individually. So we end up with 29. We can't have 29. We only have 22 major arcana, and we actually, in this case, only have 21 because we can't have a 0, which is the Fool. So we need to reduce this number. We can reduce it the same way we reduced this number, by adding the individual digits to get to something below 21. I personally like to reduce it down to a single digit. That's me. I feel like the single digits are the archetypes really of the deck in a much more boiled down, much more anthropomorphic way, if you will. But you could easily do, in this case, 2 + 9 is 11. You could do 11, which in some decks is strength and in other decks is justice. Or you can reduce it down to a 2 and have I believe the High Priestess be your archetypical guide through your journey around the sun. Not the sun, this incarnation. Sorry. To do your year card, you will do your birthday. So month, day, this year. So this year, instead of my actual birth year, I will be changing my birth year out and putting in 2020. So I'll be adding my month, my day, and then 2 + 2. I don't know what my card of the year is just yet. Haven't run the numbers, if you will. But what I want to get into, and this is the meat. This is where we're getting into the stuff today. You can have your birth card, your card for this incarnation, and it can have some wildly different meanings depending on the deck you want to sit with for a while. And I'm going to hold up 2 cards, and then I'm going to hold up 2 more. And I want you to see the difference. So these are the Hermit cards. This is from the Triple Goddess deck. This is from the Hermetic Tarot. This is from the Tarot of the Pagan Cats. And this is from the Everyday Witch deck. And then finally, this Hermit is from the Mythic Tarot. Now, they were all different. In some cases, breathtakingly different. These 2 guys, Kronos and the Hermit here, pretty similar folk. There's an illusion, there's a sense, maybe, of a more academic learning, learning of the world through your books. But he also talks a little bit about death, just based on that scythe. He looks a little bit like death. This is actually, because this is a Mythic Tarot, this is actually Kronos, and he's actually talking about time. Generally speaking, the Hermit is about aestheticism and learning to be alone with your thoughts on some level. But if you compare this deck this hermit, with this hermit, they have different feelings and they're going to teach you slightly different lessons. To me, the goddess of the triple goddess tarot, talks more of a shamanic journey. She's going into a cave, and that's always significant in shaman terms. Whereas the tarot of the pagan cats is climbing the mountain, going up and over it rather than under and through it. And I think if you are someone like me who collects a million decks, the idea that you can get a different message every year by revisiting the same card from a different deck is a very powerful lesson in how we interpret tarot and what tarot does for us. In my practice, I don't use tarot to predict the future. I use tarot to explain a situation and to give me insight that I don't necessarily have. So relying on tarot to do that consistently, differently, and to do that in new, fresh ways when I get caught in my own self is a very powerful tool. And that's what I'm here to tell you in this moment, is tarot is a very powerful tool for really digging into yourself and doing the work. It's a fantastic accompaniment to a lot of self-help stuff. Now, back to birth cards. If you are not a person who has tarot decks, but you're someone who has oracle decks, use those. You're boiling down to a specific number, and if you put them in the order that they came to you in, you can count down to 9 even if they don't have numbers. But a lot of oracle decks are numbered. This is a shaman deck, the Celtic Shaman deck by John Matthews. This is the number 9. This is the Druid, and I do find that one very, very interesting. Druids were not hermits. They were the teachers, and they were very much part of their culture and their civilization. But in our modern kind of imaging of them, they definitely fit the bill of the hermit. So I find the Druid card here really interesting in that context. This is a goddess deck I have. So what power could Cyrodiil give me? And this is just, this is a random, trying to think of the name of this one. Don't see where I put my stuff. Anyway, this deck, the bouquet. What can the bouquet teach me in this moment for this time around the sun, or what have you? So there's ways to make this work no matter what sort of oracle decks. You could use runes. I don't know what the 9th rune is off the top of my head, but you could absolutely count down the list. The runes go in a specific order. Count down the list. What's the 9th rune? Or whatever your number is, like, obviously. You're not limited to just tarot when you do your birth card and get your birth number. You can apply these divination techniques, these divination tools, to broader and bigger and larger things. Always. It's just a matter, these are tools. And like all tools, some of them are much more capable of doing multiple things sometimes than we think they are. So that's birth cards and how to get yours. Go ahead and tell me your birth card in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share. Join us on Facebook at Lunar Magic Tea Time. You can find us online at our website, lunarmagicteatime.com. You can email us at lunar@lunarmagicteatime.com. We are on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, I think Google Play now, but I'm not 100. Don't quote me. And you can give us likes, subscribes, and shares from there as well. As always, leave us any questions and comments, and we'll do our best to answer you. Have an absolutely blessed week.